Can you steelman the case for Volk remaining pound for pound number one? That's from Jurash Prostan. Okay, well, I could, because I'll tell you something, Jurash. Volk had to go up in weight. He had to go up in weight. The fact that the fight is controversial, because, guys, at this level, 10 pounds is a huge amount. 10 pounds is a huge amount. Going from 145 to 155 is a huge amount. And the fact that he made the fight controversial, if you flip the tables, if Volknavoski had a 10-pound advantage on Islam Makhachev, you could say, look, and not only would it be in Volk's favor, but Volk should, if you do the math, he should have such a major advantage that he easily takes an extra round away from Makhachev. Okay, now I don't really believe that. You're asking me to make a steel man. That's my steel man, but because the thing is, if you're bigger, you're also a little slower in terms of how often guys, if you ever sparred with a lighter fighter, they move around a lot more. And George used to complain that to me all the time. I used to put him with lighter weights, and he's like, oh, they get me tired. I said, that's the whole point. They make you tired. Why? Because the lighter the weight class, the more active they are, the less inertia they have to overcome. Okay, now I don't want to get into what inertia is, but the less energy it takes to move their body, to get their body going. So if you look at Muhammad Ali used to do 6 rounds with lighter fighters and then 6 rounds with heavyweights. He wouldn't do 12 rounds with a heavyweight. He was very, very smart. Muhammad Ali's trainers was very, very smart. He said, look, we do 6 rounds with a lightweight fighter. Why? Because the lightweights move around a lot more. So what Muhammad Ali developed, he learned to develop more movement, constant movement. If you guys don't know the history of Muhammad Ali, he was the first heavyweight to fight like a lightweight. He was the first guy to jump around on his toes, move around. Back then, the mentality in boxing was that if you're a heavyweight and you bounce up and down on your toes, you're going to get tired. So no heavyweight was doing that. They would say it's a bad strategy for a heavyweight. Muhammad Ali went against the conventional wisdom of boxing at that time. He went totally against the grain. In conventional boxing, they tell you, never circle towards the power side. Ali only circled towards the power side. Ali circled 99% of the time towards the power side. They say in the book of boxing, they say you have to go to the body to open up the head. Muhammad Ali never threw body shots. Less than 5% of his punches were body shots. The vast majority of his punches were head shots. In boxing, they tell you never lay against the ropes. He beat George Foreman by laying on the ropes. He broke every rule in the book. Okay, now just to touch on another note real quick. I'm not going to go off on a tangent, but when you master an art, whatever it may be, when you master a science, now it's time to break all the rules. Okay, once you get your black belt, once you get your PhD, now it's time to break the mold. You know what we taught you? Yeah, forget all of it. Wipe it all down, break it all down, think outside the box, build us a new bridge, do something creative. We showed you what we know. Now you go out there and you pioneer a new way of thinking. Okay, I'm not going to get into Einstein, but Einstein, that's exactly what he did. He learned everything about Newton, and he said, no, you know what? Newton is wrong about certain things. Okay, certain things, not everything, but certain things. Okay, we're not going to get into that, but time. And Newton told us, look, the arrow of time, it goes in one direction. That's constant. He flipped that on its head. Once you master a science, once you master a martial art, do you think Roy Jones, they taught him to fight with his hands down and put your hands behind your back? No way. He was taught like everybody else, fight with your hands up, tuck your chin, keep your feet like this. He was taught all the rules, but as he mastered boxing, he realized, hey, I don't need any of these rules. I'll make up my own rules now. I know how to fight. He reached that level. Islam Makhachev and Volknavoski, they're not there yet. They're not at that Muhammad Ali level where you do everything that everybody warned you not to do. They're not at that level yet. You can see they're still growing in their style. Because that's how high of a level Muhammad Ali was. That's how high a level Muhammad Ali was. Every boxing scholar was criticizing him in his time. Same thing with Mike Tyson. If you watch classic Mike Tyson fights, you'll catch certain commentators saying, oh, look, what he's doing with his leg is wrong. Because Mike Tyson would shift. He would switch stances. And in boxing, that was considered wrong at the time. Okay, if you go in the 1920s, they used to shift. Okay, they used to fight with smaller gloves, and it was horsehair, very stiff gloves. Shifting was an advantage, considered to be an advantage. And then later, as the sport modernized, it was considered to be wrong. Tyson, a boxing scholar who used to watch old school fights, used to copy the old school fighters. He brought it back. He brought back the lost art of shifting, etc. All this to say that when you reach that level, you do things your way. You find your way to do things. And nobody can tell you it's wrong because you're at the highest level of that art. You're at the there's nobody. People can disagree with you, can have a difference of opinion, but you can't be wrong because you reach that level of authority.